there is something interesting about Switzerland. It works. It's something. It sounds pretty obvious, but it's not that obvious.
No, it isn't. Especially if you've been to some places where things don't work so well.
We are very solutions-oriented. We're not a dogmatical country. And I think everything I say is not against the other countries, because you also need countries with strong vision, with philosophical approach, that kind of thing. We are a country originally of farmers. So we need things to work. We don't have resources, we cannot waste them. So natural resources. So we've been investing in making things work.
Switzerland is a sort of puzzle of paradoxes in that it wasn't always a rich country. It was an extremely poor country, even a century ago. It's a country that I appreciate because it's at a crossroads. Everyone goes through Switzerland to get across the Alps. So it's one of these wonderful countries where it's as if all of these European stories that go from north to south and east to west all come through Switzerland. And it's as if they sort of get stuck on the Alps because they snag and they sort of settle in. And I appreciate the incredible complexity of the Swiss arrangement amongst its citizens, where you have half of the population who doesn't necessarily speak the same language as the other half. Everything seems to work. And I think that's quite remarkable.
Fundamentally, if you want to start a business, start. I think most of the students or young talents that I've met that keep saying, I want to be an entrepreneur, I'm going to build this, but first I need to do this. And they seem to pile up excuses that aren't going to make it easier, because the starting process is just extremely difficult. And the years to come are going to be extremely difficult, and you're going to pivot a million times. And what seemed to be the dream business you wanted to build is going to look very, very different, and that's okay. So I kind of, even though it sounds quite simplistic, but I kind of push them, just start doing something. And when you're going to do, you're going to learn something new. And from that, you're going to build a new assumption, and you're going to maybe meet someone, and that's going to be your co-founder. So it's the accumulation of experiences that for me have given the most confidence to entrepreneurs to continue the work that they have to do.
Living here is expensive, compared to other countries.
Very expensive.
Okay, all right. You said that. I didn't.
No, it is.
So,
very clearly. But the salaries are very, very good. So I think purchasing power in Zurich, Geneva, they're better than most European cities. But clearly, if you come here with money earned outside and you're a tourist in Switzerland, it's very expensive.
And I think the other thing about Switzerland is that what you buy here, the quality is so high.
We like Swiss finish.
Swiss
finish is we take a good product, and then there's a Swiss finish on everything, on products and regulation. We always have a Swiss finish.
Interesting.
I always like this quote from Andy Grove, one of the key CEO at Intel in the 80s, 90s. And he would say, success breeds complacency breeds failure, only the paranoid survive. And I think we have to somehow keep that in mind, because yes, we have been number one for the last 15 years, but the ranking in 10, 15 years will depend on how we invest today.
Yes.
And if you look at the competition in that list, you have, of course, the US number 3, you have South Korea number 4, you have Singapore, and for the first time you have China number 10. They were nowhere to be seen on this ranking 20 years ago. Year after year, they've been progressing. So some companies are investing heavily in innovation. And Switzerland, if he wants in 10, 15 years to be still ahead, we also need to be paying attention to this huge trend.
AI will thrive, regardless of whether we like it or not. And it's a good thing, because nobody would want to go back. But we have to realize what it means. And I think it's super good that we've got academics studying the brain evolution using AI. And that we can start developing resilience towards a world that is changing so that we remain relevant even in a world that is disrupted by machines and AI. And there are a lot of cognitive changes that are seen when you look at brains of people who use AI and those who don't use AI. Like, memory is weakening, or the ability to read a full text and extract the full meaning is weakening.
Right.
And that is throughout all generations, right?
Yes.
And it's happening super fast.
Right.
So what I'm thinking is, if we manage to identify all those risks and changes, and we say, all right, we don't want to become the thing of AI. AI is a tool, and it should remain a tool.
I think if you are an entrepreneur and you work in Switzerland, you have all the possibility you can wish to be successful. I think the Swiss market, the Swiss culture is very positive.
Yes.
It's a very good ground if you want to be, if you want to act as an entrepreneur in Switzerland.
38% of the Swiss population is considered to be pure Swiss. What means you are born in Switzerland and one of your two parents is also born in Switzerland.
Only one.
Only one. This is the official definition.
And that's still, you're still pure.
38% only of the population is born here with one parent, which means that if you go to the grandparent levels, about everybody has a foreign root.
Right. Sure.
Everybody.
Right.
We met in 2012. She liked
2012, she came to my laboratory at the PFA.
At 11:15 in the morning.
No.
Well, it was late afternoon. So I was busy with surgery in the morning.
Right.
No, the idea of the meeting was mainly, there was a convergence of different people who asked us to meet. So I saw the rats walking after a spinal cord injury, and he asked me, can we do this in humans?
Yeah, and that was the aha moment that, well, let's try it. Now,
I've met many scientists, but with G, I thought, first of all, that I saw the results in animals and I knew that there was a possibility to replicate that in humans because there was a technology that we could use to try to make it, at least initially. And second, I saw, the team, the energy, and the motivation and the track of what was done previously, and how logical the steps were performed.
It was actually a successful record, right?
Yeah, and I knew that it was feasible because very often, you have a lot of dreamers among the neuroscientists. They really have ideas that are not feasible, but in that case, I was really motivated to start the journey with these people in 2012.
Imagine that with the evolution of artificial intelligence, work disappears slowly, but really disappears.
For everyone.
For everyone.
Wow. Okay.
Or even is reduced drastically.
Correct.
That's the hypothesis.
Okay. Yes.
Then we have a big problem, of course.
Right.
The social security is bankrupt because social security relies on salaries.
Right.
So there are no more salaries.
Right.
Income tax from all the states is almost zero because there's no more salary. You have the income tax.
Right.
Second consequence. And even worse than that, the social security needs additional resources to pay all the unemployed people.
Oh, yes. Right.
But it has no money. And the fourth consequence is the value-added tax as well.
Oh.
Because if you don't have a salary, the consumption goes down.
Right.
And if there's no consumption, there's no value-added tax either. And value-added tax is the most important result for the state, in particular in the EU.
The smalliness of Switzerland, of Montreux, this intimacy, the security, the respect, which is in Switzerland, and the beauty of the region, that's all those elements.
Respect, like for their privacy, for example?
Amazing.
Yeah.
You can have, I remember this story when Muse came to the festival for the 50th anniversary 10 years ago. I mean, Muse was on the top of the world at that moment. Of course. And they still are.
Yep.
And Matt Bellamy, the guitar and singer, he arrived in Montreux, and then I was asking my team, where is Matt Bellamy? Because I heard that he's having a dinner. Yeah, he's on the walkway having a hamburger on the terrace on the lake in the middle of the crowd.
Because he can.
He can.
Right. Yeah.
That's Switzerland.
Everybody drinks their coffee every morning, but they have no clue where the coffee comes from. And without the commodity traders, no one could drink coffee, no one could wear cotton shirts, or no one could drive a car. And that is important to know, for the person, for the general public to know that.
Right.
And it's not that this industry was secretive; it's just that they didn't see the need to communicate, because for them they were doing their job, and pretty well done, because we never had a lack of supply, or even during COVID. During COVID we could buy all the food, so that means they've done a wonderful job.
Right.
And
there was much disruption, not too much for.
Well, they were huge disruption, but the public was not aware of it. Well, maybe some
scrambling behind the scenes to
absolutely to make sure
of coffee beans or whatever, right?
Absolutely, and then there were big disruption at the beginning, and still today with the war in Ukraine and all the sanctions taken against Russia. That was also a big disruption, and actually in Switzerland we still have heat in the winter. We were not freezing cold in houses, and thanks to the commodity traders, because without them we would have been in trouble. Yeah.
One of the big pluses that we have in Switzerland is that we've always been small, and we've always focused on educating our people, because we have no natural resources. We don't have, we have access to the sea through the Rhine over the course of more than 1,000 kilometers.
Right.
We're landlocked.
Yeah.
It's not the most hospitable country to live in. You have a dead zone with the mountains. I know Tourism Switzerland will hate me for saying that, but in terms of industrial activities, rather difficult.
Sure.
You have an education system which is really good and works hand in glove with industry.
Yes.
With the vocational training,
right?
With applied sciences universities, colleges, and then technical universities.
Top in the world.
It is pretty good. It is pretty good, right?
Yeah,
and
come
so
on.
You have all those different levels of people, or kind of walks of life. You have the machinist. You have many ways of, okay, if you became a machinist, but you know what? I am more interested in, planning. There are so many, educational pathways,
right,
available to you,
right,
so that I think in Switzerland you just have an enormously well educated mass of people. So if you have a good idea and funding, you can go and do great things.
Right.
The thing I like the most about Switzerland, it's this idea. In German they say klein aber fein. It's small, but it works. And that allows you to better understand what the value creation phenomenon actually is. The idea that you only look in terms of finance is, I think, looking at a very small part of what's happening. When you do anything, as a company or as an organization or as a government, you need to look at the consequences of our actions on the three big capitals. And that's one of the things that I'm trying to develop in the book. We need to look at the social, at the human, and at the natural capital. So Switzerland allows you to measure these three dimensions in quite a simple way that then translate into the produced capital, which is the one we use for exchanging. But the human, the social and the natural capitals are measurable in Switzerland in a very good way.
What are you drinking, by the way? Is that green tea?
It's iced tea from Migros. It's the cult one. It's the best things that we have in Switzerland.
Okay, that's off the...
I have no time for this, but I am sure that if you start to export this to the rest of the world,
right,
you can be billionaire. It could be a business like bigger than Musk or Amazon.
Is it?